Okay, so here's my spoiler video for Logan. So if you have not seen the movie, why the fuck are you here? Go, just go watch the movie. And better yet, my spoiler-free review is in the description. Go watch it, then check out the movie, and then come on back and then hear what I gotta say about the spoilers. Because I may share one theory of mine on the extinction of the mutants that they do mention in the movie, and they mention it in the trailer, so that's not a spoiler. So anyway, that is your warning. Now, so yeah, like when we were introduced to Logan, he basically, yeah, you can tell that he is not in the best shape, like in this movie. Like he's limping, and he gets attacked by these people who are trying to hijack tires off of his limousine that he drives, and they shoot at him, and then he kills them. Like, yeah, it's a very R-rated, in a very R-rated style. Like, there's blood on his there is blood on his claws, and there were never, like I said in my spoiler-free review, there was never blood on his claws when he kills somebody. Like, I never seen it. I'm like, wait, how come there's no blood on his claws? I mean, I never really pay attention to that until this movie was coming around. I'm like, big difference. And there's a moment like where when he first brings out his claws in the movie, one of them doesn't come out, and they're not lined up with, one's not lined up with the other two. So after that, he has to pull the claw, line it up with the other two, and he's cutting himself while he's doing that, and I'm like, oh man. And he pushes, and when he gets shot, and then afterwards, and he pushes the bullets out, like he doesn't, like his body doesn't push the bullets out like it used to. He has to do it himself, like where he's flexing the bullets out, like, and it just does that, and and his body doesn't entirely heal all the way. His healing factor is really, really weakened now. And you see little scars, like where his claws come out, like, oh man. And then I liked how, and I liked the role that the comics play in the movie, like where like X-23 carries them around and reads them, and basically she sees that they're in one page, like where she has to go to Eden. And that's where Logan and Xavier have to take her, and they go on that road trip there. And before that, when I guess the surrogate mother of X-23 shows up and ambushes Logan at the cemetery, it's a very motherly way, like in a very motherly, you got me pregnant, we have a child together kind of way. and it's interesting, and I wondered if they were gonna stay entirely true to X-23, like is she gonna have all her abilities? Are they gonna change it up, like for the movie, or what's gonna happen? But turns out they stayed entirely true, like where claws come out of her knuckles, and then each claw comes out of each foot, and I'm like, is she gonna have the claws in her like in her feet? And then she has them. I'm like, oh yes, that is beautiful. And also like and then you get a little just a small insight on what may have happened with the mutants. Like where I mean, like where are they? I mean, like how are they all gone? And then and then like with the X-Men, like where are the other X-Men? Why are they away from the school? And like when they said on the radio after Xavier had one of his seizures at the casino, and then you hear it on the radio, like where they talk about what happened at the casino. It's kind of like what happened at Westchester, New York, and only some people died, including. And then Logan turns off the radio, and you're like, wait, did Xavier kill the X-Men? Oh my gosh, or did he kill a lot of the students? It leaves you. I mean, it lets you. It means one or two things. Like some people died in the school, and Logan got him away from the school before anyone else could get hurt, or they all, everyone, like nobody made it. Like everyone in that school died, including Cyclops and Storm and Jean Grey and all the other X-Men. Oh man. But I want to assume that not all of them died, and only some of them did, and then let's say maybe Storm or Cyclops is running the school, like during Xavier's absence, like, like during, yeah, during his absence. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like that's my theory that not all of them died, but some people may say that they're all dead. No one survived in that school. Nobody. And then and I liked how they made references, like made references, like from like something that happens from some things that happen in other movies, like when they mentioned the Statue of Liberty. Oh, X-Men, the first X-Men movie. And then like in general, like when they talk when the family takes Logan and Xavier and X-23 in, they talk about how Xavier ran a special school, and Logan was a student there, and he said, yeah, I got kicked out a few times, like, so there's some echoes from previous movies, so it doesn't ignore the franchise entirely. I don't think it ignores the franchise ever, really. Which is why you should watch every single movie to be invested with these characters. And like given all the hell that they've gone through, and this is the first really good time that they had since then, and then Xavier is enjoying that. He's and it's like, yeah, that's the first time he really had, I guess, a family like a normal like day or night since any of this happened. And then somebody who looks like Wolverine kills him. I'm like, what? And then it turns out to be a clone. He's basically what they wanted Logan to be. He's basically X-24. I mean, I would have called him Weapon X. The real, like say, yeah, that's Weapon X. But they call him it's X-24. But oh man, that kind of reminds me of Terminator versus T-1000. Like when Logan and the X-24, fight. It's like a Terminator fights a much more advanced Terminator who can repair the damages that has been done to him, and while the original Terminator can do very little, to, I guess, to repair the damages to him. So that's what it reminds me of, and it's that crazy. and when Xavier died, I can't say which death was better, like from X-Men: The Last Stand, like when Phoenix quote unquote killed Xavier. Like that was done beautifully, like where Magneto and Wolverine are powerless to stop her from killing him, and you can see it's hitting them like where they cannot get to him, and it hurts, and it really hurts Wolverine, like where he runs back into the room after Phoenix basically took out Xavier, and he runs in the room, and right where Xavier was is nothing but an empty chair there. And then he falls to his knees crying, and then Storm, hugs him, and then they cry together, like that, man. And then here, oh man, and then Logan buries him, and then he tries to drive off, and then he just goes crazy. He goes postal on his truck, and then like he's obviously grieving over Xavier's death. Like, this man who basically helped turn his life around is no longer there. I mean, like, and some people found that funny in the theaters. I'm like, how is this funny? He's grieving. I mean, how is that funny? But, and also, man. And then Logan finally warms up to, X-23, like, where he's no longer ditching her anymore, and he's actually helping. But he still doesn't want to get her to eat, but he's saying it's all bullshit. Nothing happens here. This is not real. And then she finally convinces him to go, and he just by punching him in the face, and that's funny. That is funny. But they get there, and the other kids from the facility are there waiting for her. And then they have to go follow the coordinates to their final destination, and these assholes catch up to them, and um, and then Logan takes the dosage that's supposed to help him, be strong temporarily, and then he took the full dose he wasn't supposed to, because it's dangerous. That can kill you, and he does it anyway. And it was awesome when he tears up all the soldiers, and X-23 helps him. They team up. It's an awesome team up. And then when it comes down to X-24 jumping back in the picture, the effects were off, and he is on his last leg. He cannot hold himself together. And oh man, I would have kept him strong, for the first half of that fight, of that rematch, and then have it wear off right in the middle of the fight, and then that's where it gets to where the part of the movie happens, where X-24 is basically demolishing him. And then there's that bullet, the adamantium bullet, and X-23 shoots him in the X-24 in the head, and then it kills him, supposedly. But, holy fuck. And that kind of echoes to X-Men Origins Wolverine with the adamantium bullets, but those basically erased his memory, pretty much. But if he could survive that bullet, then X-24 could. Okay, whatever. Maybe they needed Logan to be at the facility for him to be perfected, where his healing factor is almost leveled with what Wolverine's was, because they had to give him those dosages too, to help him heal and stuff. So yeah, so I guess he does. This X-24 is not invincible, even though he is stronger, but holy shit. But, even though X-23 could hold her own, she didn't really need anyone to protect her. But when it came to X-24 stepping in, he's a more advanced, experienced fighter, and Logan is also an experienced fighter, so you gotta throw him in there too. So, yeah. and it's intense. And I cannot think of one thing I did not like about this movie. I cannot think that. I would have liked to have seen maybe Cyclops or Storm give us some confirmation of if Magneto died, or along with that or not. But it turns out that the doctor at that facility basically wiped out all the other mutants or whatever. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. And they want to wipe them out and basically make some of their own and control them. And I guess they did. I'm guessing they did possibly get a hold of some of those X-Men, because one of them has powers like Storm, where there's electricity or lightning bolts coming out of his hand or whatever, or he can create lightning bolts or whatever. And there's another where the kid lifts up a truck with his mind. I'm guessing they cloned him and they gave him, Magneto's powers, because he took that truck and he slammed it down on the X-24. Or maybe it's Jean's powers, where it's telekinetic. Maybe it's that. But there's a lot of theories that fans can go by. Where they let us. I guess they just let us decide. What we believe happened. That's fun, but I would have liked some more confirmation. You know what I mean? But anyway, it was still a great movie. It still hit me where it hurt. And then oh man, and then X-23, and then Logan dies. I didn't think he was gonna die in the movie, but he does. And then he tells her, don't be what they made you, basically. And then he says his last words were, so this is what it feels like. And then he dies the same exact way that Xavier died, where they try to have one last word and they're looking up at the person that's holding them, and then they just die the same exact way. And I'm like, just when I thought that this movie cannot hurt me anymore, and then Logan dying the way he did, and then having X-23 crying and saying daddy, and oh my gosh. Go away, Feels, go away. Go away, Feels. No, I'm not crying on camera. No. And then X-23 gives this awesome speech, and then the kids go to their destination. They move on after that. And then X-23 turns around, takes the cross, tilted into an X, and that it's beautiful. It is just so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is an epic send-off. I'd much rather they did not make any more X-Men movies in this franchise. No more movies, not even with the first class cast. Just make an entire reboot. Then that's the next X-Men movie that I want to see. A fresh reboot, years down the line. That's it. This is a good closure. This is a good way to close the door on the franchise. This is right here. Even though I would have had one last X-Men movie with all of them together before this movie. That's me. That's what I would have done. But hey, it's still a great fucking movie. And it's probably the best movie that I've seen. The first best movie that I've seen this year by far. The first really good movie that I love. And I did see some other good movies, but this is on top right now. Right now, this is on top. So, yeah, if you guys enjoyed my video on this, on this topic, on the spoiler topic, make sure you thumb it up. And make sure you click subscribe if you're a newbie to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna go and cry, because I'm holding it in too long. Peace out, y'all.